Hello, today I'd like to show you how to make a Christmas tree. You will need a large piece of sponge, and that's to dry your tree pieces on. You'll also need a small pot of vegetable shortening, some magic sparkle, and that will be used on top of the tree at the end. And I use flour paste, so I'm using Renshaw's white flour paste and a non-stick rolling pin, and then spring green click twist brush and a gold, and that one is a light gold, and that's going to be for the little star on top of the tree at the end. You'll also need a small amount of royal icing and a piping bag, a palette knife and a very small palette knife for lifting the pieces. And the set I'm using is the large snowman and tree set, and I'm also using our little star from the snowflakes and stars set. So I'm going to roll out a small piece of white flour paste, so just knead it to make it nice and pliable. And for each tree we need one full tree and 10 half pieces of tree, so I'll show you how to make those. So roll out the paste, and the most important thing is don't lift the paste from the board. You need a good contact with the board, and you roll the paste nice and thin. And then rub a little of the shortening onto the tree, around the edge, and press firmly around the edge of the tree, and then lightly on the inner lines. I don't want these to cut through, I just want to emboss the pattern, and flick to remove it. And I'm going to cut a second tree so I can show you how to make the half pieces. So again, press around the outside edge and then lightly over the centre lines and remove the cutter. So pull the surplus paste away . And because this is going to be a standing tree, I'm going to remove the little pot at the base there. So just cut through and then lift and place the tree onto the sponge pad. That will dry nice and flat on there. For the half trees, you again remove the base and then cut through, and keeping the line nice and straight, and you place these also onto the sponge pad, and you will need 10 of the half trees. To make smaller trees, you would cut the full tree out exactly the same as for a large tree, but then you can trim at any height, so you could make very small trees or medium trees. Remove the bottom there, and then this one would be exactly the same. Level, and then cut down through the centre. And again, you would make 10 half trees to go with the full tree. So here I have my full tree and my 10 half pieces, and I'm going to colour them using the spring green click twist brush. And to use it, you just turn the end of the brush and the colour will come to the tip. And then follow the pattern that's embossed on the icing, leaving what would be the tips of the branches white. And if you feel that you're running out of colour, again just twist the end, and that will produce more colour out of the brush. So you do all the half trees in the same manner, and the full tree. Doesn't really matter whether you start at the top or the bottom, but do remember to leave the edges of the branches white. A little more colour. And when this is complete, you would leave them to dry for probably 10 minutes. And then you would turn each piece over and paint the reverse side. So I'm using a small bag of royal icing and I'm piping a line down the centre of the tree. And I have small pieces of sponge to support each piece. So make sure that the points all line up. And then place another piece opposite and again support it with sponge. Pipe another line down the centre and again place two pieces like so. And if you feel that you haven't got enough icing, you can always pipe extra lines. And again, support with a piece of sponge. And then the last piece goes in. And support either side. And that's left to dry for at least 2 hours until the royal icing has set. So my tree is now dry and I can remove the sponge supports. And I'm going to stand the tree up and pipe a line down the centre. And place, this time I'm going to place the centre piece in, and that will hold everything together while I pipe and place the extra pieces. And I'm still working on my sponge because if it does fall over, it won't break. You can stand it up again quite easily. And the final two pieces are in there. It's not necessary to support them with small pieces of sponge because they will just stand where you place them. The final one in there. And then a little icing on the top. And I have a little yellow star. I've already painted this with the yellow clip twist brush. And then I'm going to sprinkle some of the magic sparkle on there. Now this comes in quite large flakes, so if you want them smaller, you can grind them down. Just use a little ball tool to grind that down so that you make fine flakes. And then this can be sprinkled over the top before you place it, well, on the cake, or you can sprinkle it when it's on the cake so that the magic sparkle will fall onto the surface.